so that everybody on the podcast can hear you wearing a different hat every week.
Well, I thought one one day there'll be video. I swear
Yeah.
to like so I'm starting this PK hard thing, 75 hard, because
Nice.
all this there's all these people on my news feed doing this shit, right? And
Yeah.
or whatever in my feed. And like the other day, someone was complaining about how much water they have to drink. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking? Are you a fucking moron? Like, what is wrong with our society when people are, I gotta drink so much water every day for 75 hard? Like, what are you fucking talking about? If you are worried, if you're complaining about how much water you have to drink, you don't have any real problems in your life, nor have you ever incurred any actual real problems in your fucking life. Like, it's not even a lot of water. It's like a gallon of water. I could drink it in one fucking sitting. I'm like, go stand in the sun for a bit, get dehydrated, lay a skid of favors. You'll fucking drink a gallon of water. Chad is drinking the better part of the water right now. People are fucking whining about this shit. It's totally ridiculous. I'm like, anyways, moving on. I have eat at least four dried meat products per day as one of the items, because I think that's important.
Yeah.
You have to drink two energy drinks and two coffee, but you need to achieve where you're not drinking these things for energy. You're drinking them so you don't get a fucking pounding caffeine headache. Because I don't drink this shit for energy anymore. I'm drinking it purely to avoid a pounding caffeine addiction headache, not for energy. You have to answer your phone after 7:30 at least 6 times a day, minimum, if you want to do the PK 75 hard for 75 days.
Is that
And-
AM or PM or o'clock?
Oh, it's PM. You got it. You should probably add, you have to answer your phone at least 3 times before 5 a.m. if you want to do the PK 75 hard. And you need to fall asleep on the couch while talking to someone at least once a day to get a proper amount of rest. But you have to be physically talking to someone when you like nod off and physically fall asleep. So like that's fuck. This fucking guy texts me for a 10-yard asphalt bin. He's like, how much? I'm like, 275. He's like, when can you put it down? I'm like, tomorrow morning sometime. I don't know exactly. Oh, well, I need to put 100 square feet of interlock in it. I said, I don't mix the bins. He's like, but that's what I need. And I'm like, I don't really fucking care what you need, bro. I don't mix the bins. The bins don't mix. Well, but I really need to do that. I said, then fucking call someone else. He's like, well, I can give you a lot of bins. I said, I already have a lot of bins. I don't need your shitty bin that you're going to fucking e-transfer me that I don't even know how I'm getting fucking paid from some random phone number, and your whole name is Devin and you don't even own a fucking company, and you're like, fuck off, dude. Get off my phone at 7:30 at night. Like, go fuck yourself. This is the total day I've had so far today. Whatever. Like, anyways, how's it going for you guys?
That 70, that PK 75 hard. If I start getting chest pains or stomach pains, is that all part of the thing? Is that just like keep plowing ahead forward?
Oh, fuck yeah. Ignore, never go to the doctor. Ever. I'm adding that. Don't ever go to the doctor. No matter what's happening in your life, you're a male landscaper, do not go to the doctor. If you're a female landscaper, you fucking go to the doctor because you're smarter than the rest of us. But if no matter what's happening, no matter how bad your leg hurts, if you cut off one of your fingers, don't go to the doctor. Never go to the doctor.
And
Probably
just
gonna
to
get
help,
sued for this.
yeah, just to help out, nothing we say on this podcast is actual advice. Go to a trained professional for advice.
Oh God, yeah. I yeah, don't I was hoping my ultimate goal with this was that people would start tagging me, and people already tagged me in a lot of pictures of them doing unhealthy stuff because people assume, well, I actually agree with them. I'm not a particularly healthy person. But I was like, oh, maybe I can get like hundreds of people to tag me in like this, like the hose shots, like at least 3 times a week, someone takes a picture of a hose on a patio and tags me in it. Like, so I'm hoping that more energy drinks and, dried meat products. And I was thinking about adding a baked product for carbohydrates, like some kind of baked thing that has an expiry date that's a minimum of 8 months later than the day you're buying it? Because if it's a product that's going to go bad in a week, there's not enough crap in it for a hardscaper to be eating it. We need to eat products that have at least a 6 month shelf life. I'm looking at 12 months most of the time, but a minimum 6 month shelf life. That's what I think, anyways. I don't know, but you.
It's got to be a Joe Louis or one of those Passion Flakies, like one of those little Debbie boxes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with you. That's what it needs to be. Sorry, I'm still trying to like fuck off, dude, with the stupid asphalt pin. You suck it. Like, all right, goodbye, buddy. Nice knowing you. Anyways, it's been a long week and it's Tuesday. You know what I'm concerned about? I'm going to be honest here. Like, I'm a little concerned with both of you. So you're using your I Am a Hardscaper account for this podcast because you're so worried about this podcast having a detrimental effect on your How to Hardscape account. And Chad literally created a completely new account with no followers because he's so worried about it being detrimental to his business, whatever is getting said here. And I'm like, am I fucking this up? Should I be using my backup account, Paver King _-01? Because maybe I'm screwing that. Like, I'm like, then I was like, well, whatever. Like, I don't know if I could do anything here that's more detrimental than what I already do on a daily basis. So whatever. I just want to point out that I'm the only one brave enough on the Not Your Finest Hour podcast to roll with my main fucking account. I'm just putting that out there. Like, I also don't think your audio is on, Chad. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, Chad, if you've been trying to speak, yeah, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you, man. I just thought maybe you weren't chatty tonight.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Is that better?
Yeah,
Hello?
I can hear you.
Boom.
Hear me
You're
now?
on.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, there goes my story that I was trying to tell the whole time through.
That's awesome. Chad's been trying to tell us. Oh, that's great.
No, I'm kidding. No, I was quiet the whole time. But yeah, I'm using my this new account. I don't like. I'm pretty vulgar. Like, I'm not a gentle, nice person on my Landscape Daddy account.
Because you were so gentle and nice on your other account?
Definitely more so than now. I mean, yeah, I'm very crude on Landscape Daddy, but NDL, like, because I get old ladies messaging me and stuff, and like people from my city, and well, I'm not in a big city, right? Like, we have 50,000 people or whatever. So it's a little bit of a filter, and if that makes me a pussy, I guess I'm a pussy. But
I think it makes you smarter than me. That's what I think. It makes you smarter than me. That's what I think. Like,
so I Am a Hardscaper has always been my personal account. I just haven't done much with it. How to Hardscape I see more so as like a community page. But everything that I post anyways on I Am a Hardscaper just gets reposted on How to Hardscape anyways. So really there's no I guess distinguishing thing between either of those two accounts.
I actually have a backup account because I thought the Landscape Cabal was going to come after me when I started exposing their Pizza Hut as where their meetings take place and where they have all the stuff in the basement. But they never came after me, shockingly. It wasn't actually a problem. So now that account just sort of hovers on my Instagram as an extra account. Like,
so Drain the Swamp was a farce. Like, it nothing.
I got bored of
no
it.
swamps needed to be drained.
Yeah. I ordered a whole bunch of. So I was doing it, and then I had this idea that I would order a bunch of King 2024 stickers because I think that the American election needs an injection of Canadian hardscapers. I think that's what really would bring it around. And I ordered them, but then they never came. And then I kind of forgot about it because the stickers never came because I was like, oh, I'll just mail out a whole bunch of fucking stickers. And then people will put them on their trucks because they support me for US president, obviously. I'm as qualified as anyone who's had the job in the last 10 years. So, I think that I'm certainly more qualified than the Prime Minister of Canada. Like, But we just have random elections
we
at
go.
any time, so it's
Yeah.
totally it's pretty hard to make up a Paver King fall, Paver King spring. Like who fucking knows? Like whenever there's a non-confidence vote, we'll have an election, so it's different kind of thing. It's not the same. So, anyways,
I definitely vote for you. That's for sure. You'd
I
have
think-
my vote, I think, and all my guys. So there's 5 or 6 votes.
At a bare minimum, I'd be smart enough to burn the nuclear papers that I stole. Like photograph them or keep them on a fucking hard drive or something. Like, better than keeping them.
I think you'd get quite a few votes from the hardscape community.
This is a really big glass of water. I know no one will see it, but I'm drinking a huge glass of water right now, and it's just so damn hard. Drinking this water is just I can barely get it down. It's horrible.
We had
That
a
has-
fridge this
Go
year,
ahead, John.
which that's a huge positive for us. We have so we got the shop and everything. The thing that gets used most out of the entire shop is the fridge. Like, and we could have done this years ago, put a fridge outside or something, but like that fridge, man, like that saved us a million times. If you could have like a sea can, anybody with a shop, a sea can with a fridge in it, you guys are infinitely more happy just for having a fridge.
Really? What do they
I'd
put in
say
the
so.
fridge?
We have Diet Coke, we got water, Gatorade. There's some beer, not for work hours. There's a lunch or two that I don't know why there's a lunch or two in the fridge. There's a bowl of water because the fridge has a leak in it, so
Nice.
that has to get emptied every once in a while.
That's a hardscape fridge.
That's a hardscape fridge, I think. It's a used fridge, obviously, because who buys a new fridge for a group of hardscapers? What?
Are you getting a call for an asphalt bin?
I'm getting a call after 7:30.
Yeah,
It's a
PK
FaceTime from
75 hard. You gotta
Somebody. There you go.
answer that on the podcast right here.
It's a FaceTime. Perfect.
It's a FaceTime. I
That's
don't know
what-
who it is. I don't know.
Have you
whoever
ever
the
had
guy
a
is.
client call you on FaceTime?
Fuck off. Sorry guys, he went off again. Just gonna put it on mute.
I haven't.
No, I don't think so. No. I'm gonna say no. But I don't answer my phone even when they do call. I screen them all the time. Everything gets screened unless I have the number in my phone that I typed out myself. It's their name. I mean, like it. No, we don't answer the phone.
Yeah. When people text me, it comes up and says, report this text. Like this fucker with the asphalt bin, I'm reporting him. Apple's going to think he's a bad guy. I don't even know if he is. He's just pissing people. Like anyone who texts me with inane shit, I'm like, oh yeah, this was a bad person. Block this. Like whatever it comes. I don't know what it says. It says something like,
I don't get that option.
really?
Yeah, to report people. I guess I don't get that many texts from numbers I don't know.
It's when it's a new number and you haven't responded, it'll say like, do you want to report this person or something?
It'll say maybe this person and then give me a name, but that's it. It never says report them. Maybe my phone's out of date.
Okay, yes, he needs a mixed load, hundreds. So I said, we don't mix loads. This is okay, yes, he needs a mixed load. I feel like I was clear. We don't mix loads. And then this guy's an idiot. He still has his read receipts on his phone. So I know he read that. It actually says read 739. Okay, yes, he needs a mixed load, 100 square feet of brick, rest interlock. Okay, what do you, that makes no sense.
Makes
Trying
no
to-
sense.
Trying to get him for me to drop trailer for interlock. You do asphalt, which is free to dump. Can you give me better price on just the asphalt so we can get this job? Yeah, because
Wow,
yeah, bro, I need to like
that sounds like a nightmare.
I mix loads. I mix them in the trailer, front asphalt, back concrete. Great, good for you, buddy. I think that's awesome, man. I'm super proud that you've come up with a solution that I haven't. I'm not telling my driver to climb into the back of the bin and throw out the concrete. Like I'm not. It's a dump
about-
truck.
What about that fancy bin that you have with multiple?
That one's worth way too much money to be sitting out on the road. Someone fucking drive into it, like, or some, I don't know. People have zero I think we probably, I don't know, probably talked about this. People have zero respect for the bins. Like they bash them and push them all over the street and clean the back of their bucket on them. I'm like, yo, bro, that's my 7 grand, you
Did
stupid
it?
fuck. Like,
Did they move them around like with their skid steer and stuff? Do they
oh
will they
yeah.
push them and stuff?
Yeah, and then it's hard to
That's
get back to them. It's really hard to get back them. Like if they push them on a weird angle, it's hard to get the trucks in sometimes. Like
yeah.
it's a like although I do at least unlock the locks on my truck when I'm trying to get the bin off. I'm just saying.
So I want to say that wasn't my fault. It's because the bin truck was old and it had like we have this hinge system on it for some reason that like you're still supposed to dump with them locked, but
Yeah.
there was a pivot point that wasn't pivoting that was supposed to pivot. Um, and we greased it up and now it works good. So I guess it's still my fault, but it's not. I mean, it's not completely my fault.
You're the
So
owner of the business. Everything is your fault.
everything's my fault. You're right. I'm wrong.
If you can't accept that, you can't own a business.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'll take the blame. I always take the blame for stuff. Um, yeah, but
Well, you actually did it too.
I did it too, right? Like it's not like anybody was there watching me.
Yeah. Like
Watching.
I guess I'll take the blame for this. I'm like, well, you physically did it, so I hope so.
Yeah,
Like,
but I could blame the guy who had it before and he didn't grease
That's
it
true.
and all this
Yeah.
shit. Like, I mean,
yeah,
you know,
that's not going to be productive for your mental health.
no. I mean,
No, it's true.
and I don't even know what it cost me to get it repaired. I just paid the entire bill of what it was to get the truck safety. It was part of it, I guess. I don't know.
So
Anyway,
have you used the truck yet?
we've used it for 2 days, only because we're so busy doing other shit that we don't need a bin truck every day. So it's a good thing I didn't spend $300,000 on a bin truck because then I'd feel like we need to use it every day.
It has a crane on it though, right?
Yeah, right now it has a crane on it, but that you have to get certified every couple of years, I think, to be able to use it. I don't know who checks, but in order to use it, it has to be certified.
The only person who checks is after there was an accident.
Yeah.
No one pre-checks the crane certification on anything.
Or and I think,
That's a purely after tragedy check. Like,
but I don't want to be that tragedy that makes you have to check the crane, right? Like,
how hard
I
is it
was,
to get it certified? Maybe it's certifiable.
yeah, I'm sure it is, but I mean, we'd only use it for trees. Um, I've heard horror stories about those things, like guys knocking their teeth out with a crane and stuff like that. Like, I mean, um, I don't know. We may take it off. We may leave it on. It's probably 3 tons, right? So eats up
Oh,
the payload a little bit.
well, you could sell the crane easy.
Yeah, we tried that. We listed it for a bit. The last crane that the mechanic pulled off said they got like 10 grand for it. So like I listed it for 8 and we got nothing, but maybe no one needs an old crane right now. So I don't know, we'll sit on it. Like I'm not in a rush. Like either we'll use it or we won't. But tree season's coming up again and we got some big tree jobs. Maybe we'll use it.
So I used to, when I was like 16, my first truck that I drove was a straight truck with it was a 10-ton GMC straight truck with a crane on it. And I got so good with that I could do it because it was the only tool I was like allowed to have. I could dig a tree hole with that motherfucker. Like
With the crane?
we used to pull T-bars with it all day.
Holy shit. We
They
have
would-
a
chain and
medieval, yeah. We have like a medieval like pedestal with a chain on it that you have to heave on. But the thing weighs probably 60 pounds, so you're dragging it from tree to tree to try and get these old T-posts out. So we switched to wood now. Everybody
Usually-
asked for wood.
Yeah, and I agree. Like I haven't planted trees like that in a long time, but they were all wood when we were doing them the last.
They stopped using the hose with the wire through it too. Like now
Yeah.
you use arbor twine or something. It's like I've spent $1,500 on rope to tie trees this year, which is I mean that's a lot of money. And the guys are halfway through it already. I don't know if they use it. They make belts out of it, my guys. Like I'm not even lying. Some of them come to work with no belt. Is there any tree rope? And they'll take a length of tree rope that's however long, they wrap it around their body, and then they cut it off, and then they wear it as a belt. These guys. So
It's effective.
come to work for me, and you get a free belt.
Is that your new ad?
I'm actually interviewing someone tomorrow. We have our first female applicant ever in natural design. So
Hire him.
yeah, I have to see if they're a good fit. The guys are a little rough, but
Doesn't matter.
yeah, I
Hire
mean, if she's willing to work, I'd love to have her as part of the team.
So I had a blanket policy was I hired every woman that came through the door, always. And then after like the third or fourth one didn't work out, the guy that owned the company back then, he said, Mike, stop hiring these women. They never work out. I'm like, bro, we've hired 4 in like 7 years. We've hired 300 men that didn't work out in the same time. So should I stop hiring men as well? Because they fail at a far greater rate than the women do because there's way more of them that are morons. So like, and then on the 6th person, I hired Christy and she still works with us today. So, and like we hired Cody last year, she still like, I just had this blanket policy of hire every woman because I feel like every crew is better if there's a woman on the crew. That's my opinion.
I
But
get
you're right.
behind that, but
Yeah.
like I mean, there's something to be said about being physically capable, right? Like, I never met this woman. Hopefully, she's great and she can do everything that the men can, and she's smarter than the guys because sometimes the guys aren't all that smart. Never mind, they're good. My guys are great. But we could use.
And they don't listen to this, so I'll say
We were talking about it today. I said I never say anything that's not true, so they'll be listening to make sure I don't say anything untrue. But no, we'll see how it goes. I guess we'll talk about it next week or something. Hopefully, she'll be a part of the crew by then. It's just hard for interlock, especially like these Lexus slabs and shit that we're lifting, 80 pounds a piece all day. I don't know. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman; it's still hard work.
Yeah, Mike, can we dive a little bit deeper into that? Like, what does a woman bring to a crew in terms of like the dynamic that brings? As somebody that's never hired a woman for a crew, so like, what brings you to that opinion that every crew is better off with a woman in it?
I just think everything in life is better with a woman in it.
That's fair enough.
Like I'm being dead serious. Like
Yeah.
99% of my experiences that are all male are usually really offside and fucked up. So like,
like this
true.
podcast.
Like this podcast. There you go. I think it just adds a different dimension. I think that there's just a different perspective on life, and it adds something to that. Like it just, Christie's as hard as they come, and she just has a different perspective on things than I do. And you know, same with Kelly. Like Kelly, my wife that runs our office, I call her all the time, and it's just a different perspective than I would get from a male counterpart. I could call one of you guys or call one of my buddies that runs a landscaping business and talk about a topic and form an opinion, and then call Kelly or call Cody or call Christy and have a totally different opinion by the time. It's just a different perspective on life. It's just, I think it's always good to have multiple ways of looking at things. I don't know. It's just always been now. So my phone's ringing. It's 8:13. This guy owes me a fuck ton of money, but I'm not going to answer it because I'm on this fucking pod. Like, this is $17,000. I'm not answering the phone.
Why don't you take it live right now?
I don't think this is the right time for that. Specifically with this guy. Yeah, this guy. So I just didn't answer the phone to $17,000 for this fucking podcast. I hope Kelly never listens to this fucking podcast. Motherfucker. anyways, I just think it's a different perspective. It's just I just think it's a good. It just brings a good feeling to the crew. Like you have to experience it, I guess. I just think it's. I think that sometimes, like when you're on a cruise and they're all men and you're there every day, all day, you can lose perspective on reality outside that crew because it's not diverse like normal life. It's four people in a backyard or on a commercial site where they don't pick up the garbage if you follow Daddy Landscape.
We pick up our garbage, by the way. Like,
And I think that you just it makes it more like normal society. And I think things that might get offside don't get up, not because because it's more normal society. Like, there's if you're sitting at a dinner table full of mixed company, you're probably not going to scream at like you stupid lazy fuck. Like
is that the way they talk
who?
at Favor King?
It's the way I talk. Well,
No, that's the way my guys talk.
I just
I
say
won't
like,
deny it.
and I don't think that I think the tone, like, I just think that having mixed company always changes the perspective on any conversation, whether it's political perspective. Like I think it's just better. It just, I don't know. I thoroughly enjoy. Like we have Kelly that runs our office, and does our HR, and does payroll, and is going to be super pissed I didn't talk to that fucking guy that owes us $17,000 at 8:30 at night because she just emailed him going, "What's the plan for this?" Like, like, last week you sent us $2,000. Like, we're not the bank. It's not a fucking payment plan. Like, this is the invoice. Fucking pay it. Like, so she takes care, and then Nancy Green obviously does all our designs, and I think I think that helped me a lot with sales, having someone like Nancy beside me who just has a way different like she's worried about where the sun goes, and I'm worried about whether we have 48-inch access.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's just we're worried about vastly different things. I'm like, where the hell are we storing the gravel in the beaches? Like, um, and then we have the Cody and Christy who are female drivers at our company, and I think that it's just they have a different perspective with, and a lot of our clients really like that we have female drivers. I get tons of feedback that it's so like that. First of all, they're both great drivers too, and they're both very well. Cody's a little bit more customer oriented. Christy's more likely to get out of the truck with a baseball bat if you hit the side of it. She's pretty attached to her truck. But I don't know. I think you wouldn't go wrong, Chad. Like,
Well, we'll see. I mean, I used to do this thing where I'd hire everybody that came through the door. Like, we just need manpower.
best
And
policy.
that has not worked out for us. We
No.
actually, I got a call from service, whoever deals with unemployment. One of our ex-employees, as of a couple weeks ago, he quit. Did I tell you about this guy? The guy who was throwing up on the side of the job. So, buddy who was throwing up on the side of the job, he ended up quitting that week. I got a call from the government, whoever it is, whatever service, something that that called, and they was like, "Well, could we talk about this guy?" They said they understand that he quit, but he left because he was having problems with another one of the guys on the site. It's like, yeah, I understand that. He mentioned it to me once. And after that, I put him on a different crew with different guys. He didn't have to work with that guy anymore. She's like, oh, okay. I said, all the other guys can vouch for me. Like, he really wasn't a great fit. He was slower than the rest of us. He didn't pull his weight. All this, I mean, I went on to the lady over the phone. She's like, do you guys have a union? I said, no, we're 5 landscapers just working every day. Of course, no, we don't have a union. And she's like, "Do you have a health and safety policy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a board in the office or in the shop." She's like, "Can you send me pictures of that board?" Like, yeah, absolutely. I'm headed back to the office or in the yard. I'll be there in 2 hours. I'll send you a picture. Like it has our health and safety policy, our anti-harassment policy, all this shit. Um, and so she was pretty happy with that. And she goes along and she's like, "Oh, we just want to see if he's going to qualify for his unemployment now." I said, "Well, in all honesty, he worked for me for like 2 months. I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but I'm sure you've seen this before where they work for a couple months and then they want to get their benefits, so they just fuck off and do nothing." Prime example with this kid. But so that's why we don't hire anybody who walks off the street anymore, amongst other reasons. I
I'm
got a million horror stories of workers that didn't work out.
I'm concerned that the government spent all this. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? Like, really? Like, like
I mean,
there should be like set policies. Did you work this much time? Yes. Okay. Like, I guess it's woke unemployment.
well,
Like, it
Shit.
used to be like if you didn't have 700 hours, you I don't. Doesn't
yeah,
matter
like
to you.
Yeah.
Like, you don't give a shit. Like,
yeah, if you don't have your time, then you don't get your unemployment. I don't know, maybe it's soft now because if you cry wolf and you say you're, oh, someone bullied me or something like this. I understand bullying is real. Be nice to your guys, all this stuff, right? Like, I'm not trying to downplay that, but if you're going to use it as an excuse to stop working completely, I mean, get fucked. That just rubs me the wrong way.
well, also, it's not like the guy. I don't know, but I feel like this guy didn't approach you several times. Like, he
Not
approached.
several times. One time, and then that was it. I'm like, okay, you work with this person today.
Yeah, and that was the end of it.
That was the end of it. You don't have
And
to
you-
work with that
And
person
you
again.
and you had a stern talking to with the other person that was
Yes, the
Wow.
stern
very
talking
stern,
to, very stern.
super stern.
Yeah,
Made it
that's
really
absolute-
clear.
made
Yeah.
it absolutely clear that nobody should be talked to in that manner, no matter how much you're fucking up on your job.
Yeah.
No matter how much you're not listening, you can't talk to someone that way.
No.
No
Absolutely
matter
not.
no matter how much gravel they put in the pool, you can't talk to someone that way. Oh no! Obviously, we all have
Guys-
labor problems.
We were doing a pool once, and one of the guys that works for me, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I had said to them repetitively, "Don't drop shit in this fucking pool." I don't remember why the pool was sensitive to shit dropping in it. I don't. And some cut piece of brick flew out of someone's hand and landed in the pool. He dove in the pool and got it before it hit the bottom.
No.
And
Before
came,
it hit the bottom,
and came up with it and said, "I have this. It's okay, Mike." And I was like, "Whoa!" I mean, I think I'm stressed. Don't have stuff in the pool a bit too loud, like a bit too hard. I maybe need to back down on that a tiny bit. Like, I was like,
no,
he literally had, and his it's. I was like, okay,
we
very dedicated.
sometimes we'll work along this pool company, and I don't know about you guys. Like, we're working along this pool company. They don't wear steel toe boots. They wear sandals and running shoes to work, which drives me up the wall. I don't care what you do. If you're a trade, you're in steel toe boots. So we're on the same site, and the liner was not in. Yeah, no, the liner wasn't in, but there were rocks in the liner was in, but there were rocks in the pool. So Buddy, obviously he's in his swim shorts too. He's a pool guy, right? So sandals, takes off his sandals, swim shorts on. He's in the pool, but he's picking the rocks up with his feet. And he spent a good half hour in the pool picking the rocks with his toes and putting them on the ledge as we're landscaping around the pool. I don't know if that's par for the course for a pool guy or what.
I've never seen that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I've been around a lot of pool people, and I've never. Now, pool people showing up at weird times and wearing, like, wearing. I'm sure that all these like pool and irrigation and people that service landscapers probably have like a million like stories
About the landscapers that
about
fucked
the
up.
landscapers and stereotypes. That just occurred to me for some reason. It's like, but yeah, like I oftentimes, although I did drive the truck all day today in my fucking Nike running shoes, so I probably should be careful where I what I speak of. I posted. I don't know if you guys saw this, but we dealt with a pool guy, and every morning he would roll up on site at like 9:30 because he would not be starting at 7, and he would stick his arm out the window and pour a half a can of Coke on the ground.
Oh yeah.
And the new guys were like, "Why is that guy pouring a half a can of Coke on the ground?" I'm like, "Is it left over from yesterday?" I'm like, "No, it's fresh." And they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "He's making room, bro." And then that guy would bring a can of Coke and he'd drink it all day. He was a great like because we did a lot of like I didn't want to get in the new pool installation game because that seemed complex. So I decided to take on the actually more complex game of re-reing old steel vinyl pools that are falling apart. And so this guy was like the best at re-reing old pools. But every morning, man, he would and someone called me uh like a month ago and said, "Hey, I need this done." And I was like, "Oh, you got to call this guy." And then they call me back, "Oh, he retired." I'm like, "Wow, it's like he's not fucking dead." But whatever. Like, yeah, every morning he would pour a half can of Coke out on the ground every day. I was like, well, whatever. As long as he did a hell of a job, though. He's a smart guy too. Knew more about pools than probably 90% of the people putting fucking pools in right this year. Like
This year,
he
everybody
was.
can put a pool in this year.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm wondering like because I know a lot of guys are trying it. Like they're trying pools for like I'm going to do a pool. I'm going to see how it goes. I'm wondering if that will like I'm like most of my existence as a landscaper. Like in our area, there was 4 companies that did pools. That's it, and no one really like it was like, oh, it's the pool. Like, and now there's like everybody's doing their own pools, and I'm wondering if like guys will start to see that it's like to have all the extra stuff and like for me it's mostly like I don't want to carry a trailer around with even more shit in it for pool stuff. Like I'd rather just get someone to do it. Like I'm interested to see if like there becomes those guys all stick at it and become these complete service companies, or if it goes back to the more traditional model of a pool company puts a pool in the ground and the landscaper does the landscape.
Yeah, I think a lot of that came out of necessity during like these times when demand was so high and like not having to stick to like a pool company's schedule. I think a lot of these guys kind of saw that at least like the smarter guys that felt the need to do that and were willing to and able to purchase the equipment as opposed to other people just getting into the industry and seeing like, you know what, I can make this much on a pool and then realizing that maybe they underbid and go out of business real quick.
I put in my own pool a couple of years ago. It was not hard by any means, but I did it with a 4-ton shovel. I had a Bobcat shovel, and my pool's tiny. It's like 8.5 by 16. They call it a cocktail pool or something. I don't know, whatever it's called. Anyway, gets you just as wet as a big pool, but it's small. And we put it in with a 4-ton shovel. It was just about too heavy for the shovel because I almost put the shovel in the pool. But yeah, I don't think it's overly complicated. I had a pool guy hook up the plumbing and all that stuff. I didn't pour a concrete collar around my pool, so I don't know how long that's gonna last. It's been 4 years. It's okay.
Why didn't you pour a concrete collar?
Because I didn't know you had to. But I'd rather learn that at my house than at someone else's house.
Oh, it's at your house.
Yeah, it's at my backyard right now.
Oh, this isn't a ballsy thing. Even if it's it's your fucking house.
No, no,
I thought you were talking about you put it in someone's backyard.
no,
You're
no.
like I didn't pour collar. I didn't know you were supposed to. I'm like,
No,
wow,
I would
that sucks
never.
for some
I,
dude.
I would never build something like I know I'm a little rough around the edges, but I would never build something for someone that I wasn't 100% sure on. Um, I every collar, every pool we've done since, not that we've installed them, but I've done the collar around them, has been obviously concrete, rebar, the whole thing, the proper way to do it, right? It just this is my first pool I ever put in. For the first 2 months, when you walked on the bottom of the pool, it would bounce, right? Like so you stop doing that now and it didn't crack, so it's fine. But maybe would have never been cut out to be a pool installer. Um, but I mean, I could probably figure it out now if I had to do it again. But I'm so busy as it is with the other stuff. Leave the pools to someone else, to the guy picking rocks with his feet or something. That's fine.
I don't find it to be particularly like the actual construction of the pool to be particularly inspiring. It seems
Yeah.
like the fiberglass pool. I could see myself doing that. It's kind of like digging an ugly hole and then filling it with HPB to grade and putting a pool down on it. The whole steel, and like I guess I came up mostly with steel side vinyl or pure concrete. There was the fiberglass pool thing wasn't a thing. Um, it just seemed like a lot of like mud and hassle and
Yeah.
really hard work spreading the concrete on the ground, and it didn't appeal to me at all with the level of hard work it was. Maybe I don't know. And for like the one thing that does appeal to me like with everything is that you just finish the pool and then leave. The place is fucking trashed. It's not
Yeah.
your problem. Pool's done. Landscape
Pool's
will
done,
fix.
or the landscaper will fix it.
Landscaper will fix that. Yeah, you know.
There's dirt halfway down the road. The landscaper will deal with it.
Yeah,
Like they don't bring a broom with them.
no.
None of these excavation guys bring a broom with them to clean up anything. Like I had that conversation with somebody. Nobody cleans it up but the landscaper. I want
Yes.
to put a 20% surcharge on all jobs because I have to clean up everybody else's shit all the time.
I had a great conversation with I'm gonna give him credit too because he deserves it with Tyler from Xterra like in the spring. And he has a $200 surcharge for the garbage he knows you're gonna ask him to get rid of on every contract. It's serious, like dead serious. Like he wasn't joking. He was like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Every time I go somewhere, someone's like, can you get rid of that patio set?" He's like, "I just got sick of paying for that shit.
Yeah.
It's not my fucking problem. You have some dirty patio set at the side of your house for 4 years. Now I'm here, so I got to get rid of it." So he's like, I have it in his contracts. He's a $200 surcharge for existing on-site garbage or something. And I was like, man, this is fucking brilliant. This is good shit. I'm gonna add this for next year, like because I don't know if I've ever done a job where we didn't end up throwing away a bunch of someone's stuff that had jack to do with us.
Yeah, we do that a lot too. Actually, the client we just finished today, Pool Surround, actually, that we didn't put in. The pool we didn't put in. Did the Pool Surround. She asked us to set up the furniture and asked us if we could take away the cardboard boxes that the furniture was in. I said, no, you can cut that up, put it on the road. Like,
No, that's not
how
how.
far do you have to? But why are we expected to do this stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
why? What?
I can't even imagine working inside someone's house.
No, yeah.
Hey, man, that box of old Playboy magazines, can you like put that in the dumpster for me? Like, I'm done with those. Like, I'm just like
I'm done with those.
done with those, man. Like, yeah, I've never done interior renovation in my life, but I can't imagine like.
Do you think they get asked though, or do you think it's just the landscaper that gets asked? Why? Like, you never
sure.
ask an electrician. They can't even clean up after themselves. How could you ask them to take care of your fucking Playboys?
I think the general contractor.
Yeah. I'm
you know,
sure.
like when someone's a general contractor. I have a buddy who's a general contractor. I'm gonna fucking ask him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that like people are like, "Hey, man, can you throw away that old carpet? Like, you know, that throw rug, or can you get rid of my couch?"
Yeah.
Like I'm done with it. Like you already got this dumpster here. Can you guys just chuck it in there? Like it just seems like it would like I don't know, like it would happen.
I've
Maybe.
been asked to cut up a couch with my quick cut because they were trying to get it in a truck and it was too long for the bed, and they saw me cutting and they came over and asked if I could cut their couch in half.
Did
Did
you
you do
cut
it?
it?
No, I did not do it. You kidding me?
Ah, yeah. Were
If
you
you
afraid
had,
it would wear out the
if you
blade?
had
I just did not want to get involved in whatever they were doing there. So it
Imagine the
wasn't
smell that comes out of a cut
right.
all the time. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
A pleather couch.
A
Can you
pleather
imagine?
couch.
their couch,
Yeah.
that's you, if you had a Blades Direct blade shot with two X's, you could have chopped that couch up no problem. Now they can sponsor this episode. You should send
Yeah.
them a quote.
Blades Direct.
Favor King says if you're cutting couches up for some next door neighbor for no money, use a Blades Direct shot with the power of two X's.
There you go, Blades Direct. You got your one. Now the next one.
Gotcha
The
one.
next one costs.
We want a sponsorship for this. This, or at least I want you to call me 5 times a week trying to get me to buy blades at a bare minimum. Like that's
After 7:30
Oh yes,
or
Sure.
before 5.
Before 5. Different time in Florida. I think there's like some kind of time shift.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh well.
What did you do this week, Mike?
What did I do this week? I installed some privacy screens today. Did you guys get hit with a thunderstorm?
No, it
No,
hasn't rained. My
I
dog's
got-
dying.
I got hammered today. It was brutal. And yeah, that's basically this was a project that I did last year. Great clients. So like I'm more than happy to do whatever they dream up of next for me to do. So I'm happy this week. I can't complain at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's disappointing.
no,
Might as well shut,
no
the,
good stories.
shut the whole fucking episode down. Done. Like, what are we gonna do? Like,
What are we gonna talk about now? I started the day here. I'll vent a little bit. Saw it arrive 7 in the morning. First one to pull in. The guys are getting shit ready. They'll meet me on site. Hop in the Bobcat. Go to take off the bucket. The fucking bucket won't come off again. One of the pins doesn't come up or something like that. And might not have been the end of the world, but you can't get out of that goddamn machine unless the door is completely down, right? So you
yeah.
can't even troubleshoot it yourself as one person because you need someone sitting there fiddling with the controls, lifting the bucket and shaking it while someone's pounding dirt out of the quick connect.
Or grease.
They're heavily greased, these things. Like I probably used 2 cans of liquid wrench and we're still pounding on the thing, heating it up, and it just doesn't want to come. I don't know. Blame it on it's nobody's fault but my own, right? We talked about this. So I got pissed off, went back to the yard, grabbed the greased cannon, and came back. We got it. We eventually got it sorted out. Got the sod in. Client tells me that she has no sprinklers, and it's my responsibility to water her sod. Of course, after I clearly said it's the client's responsibility, and that's why it was priced the way it was. But $500 in hoses later, she has hoses on her site to water her sod now.
Is this the same lady that wanted you to dispose of the cardboard boxes?
Yep. You
Maybe
bet.
if you had done that, she would have watered her grass.
Yeah. She a nice lady. I can't say anything bad about her. She pays on time, everything as far as I know, knock on wood. I got the deposit on time. But she's very happy, everything's good. But the sprinklers are going full pin in the backyard. She comes out and asks the guys, do you guys have any idea why I don't have very high water pressure in the house? And the guys are like, well, all of your sprinklers are running. She's like, oh, that'll affect my water pressure? Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't blame some people, right? I mean, they don't know. Maybe the landscapers just know too much about everything.
You need to know about everything.
You need to know about everything. We've been